Australia have had their share of injury woes, to add to a couple of players who have been given leave for personal reasons. You've got players who've been rested. So combination of all that is not good news for Australia. This is the injury list we're talking about. Marcus Stoinis in that first ODI. He's now come back, probably only as a batsman. David Warner, we saw him go off for that scan with that awful groin injury when he fell over. He's been ruled out for the series. Then came Ashton Agar, who batted a bit when he was strapped up. And in that first T20, a bit of an injury to Aaron Finch. Along with that, we've got Pat Cummins rested. Cameron Green is part of that Australia A versus India lineup, and compassionate leave for the leader of their attack in Mitchell Starc. And this is all that's happening at home. Not really good news for Australia or for any team, whether you're playing away or at home, Zaheer. But at home, you almost feel that it's not as bad at home. You could get in a whole lot of replacements, but these are top quality players.
Well, injuries are never good news. For any team who wants to continue with the winning momentum, you need stability in the side. You need players to understand their roles and then keep on improving on that. Get more comfortable with that. And when you have forced changes, it doesn't really help that cause. So from that point of view, yes, injuries have hampered Australia's momentum in a certain way for sure. But the curious case is the rotation policy. We've seen that not many games have been played in this year, and still to continue with the workload management in this fashion is somewhat still makes me it's still amusing for me for sure to see players are rested in so quick time.
Yeah, we talk about resting over a long summer, a long period of time. It's not been that many games, Michael. And when you see some other players going off due to injury, maybe you need to revisit that policy on the fly?
Yeah, I mean, as Zach said, injuries are never great for the team. I just think it's the nature of the beast in this era that we find ourselves in sport. You look at a lot of the football teams, they're picking up lots of injuries. It's maybe something to do with this bubble, this kind of bubble that they're not having the intensity of more games. Generally, cricketers and sports people are playing more and more kind of games around, obviously the internationals or around the Premier League fixtures, and in this case, obviously in terms of cricket. But I just wonder whether the intensity is not there away from the game. Then all of a sudden that they're playing these games, and that's when you start to get those little niggles that we've seen, the little muscle tears, because the bodies aren't quite used to the intensity of what they're finding themselves out in the middle. And I don't think it'll be wrong of us to say that in the next few weeks, I'm sure we'll see some more little niggles and little kind of muscle tears. It's just going to be the nature of the beast that we find ourselves in. I think if you actually look at the summer that we had here in England, I was staggered and amazed that we didn't get more injuries. Because of the fact that the players went from pretty much doing nothing to playing high-level international cricket to a great standard, and we didn't get too many kind of little niggly muscle tears, which you generally find in those kind of situations. Australia, they're finding that the luck, if you like, is not on their side at the minute, because they seem to be picking up lots of little niggly injuries. Obviously, David Warner looks a little bit worse than 2 or 3 of the other injuries, but little side strains, little muscle tears to the hamstring, calves. That's always an indication that there's not been the intensity, or they've not been able to do the work in the practice to the level of intensity that you get in a game situation.